Hello, my name is Rachel here and I'm Trust Director of MFL. Tonight I'd like to talk to you about your child's GCSE French course and how they can best revise for their exams. The exam board we use is AQA. Pupils are usually examined in 4 skills: listening, reading, speaking and writing, each worth 25%. However, as you may be aware, following a consultation by OFQUAL in the summer, the speaking exam will not be formally assessed this year, and pupils will instead receive an endorsement point, pass, merit or distinction. This has been done in order to create more teaching time so pupils can cover more content. In addition, there will be more options in the writing components, and the writing papers will include an additional optional question for the overlap question at both tiers. So the content is divided into broad themes, and the first theme is theme 1, identity and culture. The second theme, local, national, international and global areas of interest. And the third theme, current and future study and employment. In November, the revision focus will obviously now be on listening, reading and writing, and these will now be equally weighted at around 33% each. At Foundation, the listening exam lasts 35 minutes. You will be given an additional 5 minutes to read the paper, so you should use it. In Section A, question and answers are in English. In Section B, question and answers are in French. The higher listening is similar to the Foundation listening. However, here you are given 45 minutes. Again, Section A, questions and answers in English. Section B, question and answers in French. And again, you must use your 5 minutes reading time. At Foundation, the reading exam lasts 45 minutes, and you are advised to spend 5 minutes reading through the paper and annotating. In Section A, answer the questions in English. In Section B, answer the questions in French. And Section C is a translation into English. At higher, you have 1 hour, and again, there are recommended 5 minutes to read through the paper and annotate. Section A, answer in English, Section B, answer in French, and Section C is again a translation into English. For Foundation, for the writing exam, the first question is a description of a photo, and you are required to write 4 sentences, and these need to be written as a full sentence. That means they should include a verb. The second question at Foundation is usually some kind of blog or very, very short message. And for this, you must write about 4 bullet points as indicated. And you must write about all 4 bullet points to get the maximum marks. You need to write approximately 40 words in total. For this question, it's important to brainstorm key vocabulary in French. Again, it needs to be vocabulary that you know and can spell. This is very important because this is a test of your writing. Things like opinion starters such as j'adore, je déteste, j'aime, je n'aime pas are extremely useful for these shorter tasks. And again, once you've brainstormed your vocabulary, you're halfway there. For question 3, for the writing exam, it's a translation from English to French. And again, you must translate all sentences and concentrate on getting your verb tense right. And obviously, we're trying not to leave any words untranslated. The final question for Foundation is also the higher crossover question. So this one you have a choice for, and as you can see here, you're given a choice of either 4.1 or 4.2. And again, there are bullet points here and you must write about all 4 bullet points. And you need to write approximately 90 words, but these will not be counted, so it is only an approximation. Higher question 2, again you have a choice and you can see here between 2.1 and 2.2. Again, look at the rubric, identify the topic choice, choose which of the 2 questions you can write more about, and you must write about both bullet points. And again, the word count of 150 is approximate. Finally, at higher, you have the translation into English. And again, we're looking to translate all sentences, concentrating on getting the tense right for the verb and trying to avoid leaving any untranslated words. So a little bit of guidance for the writing exam, and in particular, looking at the longer responses. And for this particular one, you can see here there are 3 bullet points. Obviously, you would have 4 bullet points at AQA, so just the one more. And the first thing to do really is to underline keywords and translate the bullet point. Then identify the tense for each bullet point, and then recall your strategy. And the strategy here, we use Dr. Rip, so we're looking at detail, opinions, connectives, tenses, adjectives, reasons, intensifiers, and powerful expressions. So as a little example of what you would do next, we've got here a spider diagram. And this is very useful to do on the exam paper. Again, you can put a cross through it once it's done, once you've written your paragraph. And you have your bullet point, and then you start brainstorming your response and ticking off each time, have I got my detail, have I got my opinions and connectives, and so on. And once you've gathered vocabulary that you know, again, and that you can spell, you're ready to begin your response. For the translation question, at foundation, we're looking at simpler sentences. Again, we're using things like simple opinions, time phrases, and we need to be aware of our 3 verb tenses of present, past and future. And there is a lot of support available to help pupils revise for this particular element. And once again, if you don't know a word, you think of another way of saying it. So if we don't know favourite, we can't remember how to spell préféré, we're a little bit worried about getting it wrong. Favori, which is more of a cognate of our English word favourite, would do the job equally well. And again, at the higher, obviously more complex vocabulary and grammar is required. So again, a quick snapshot of some of the things that pupils will be expected to know. So revision. How do you revise for French? Well, a lot of people ask that question, and it's really not as difficult as it may first seem. It's important to practice all the skills, and there is a lot of audio material on the market for this. Indeed, many revision guides now include a CD or a link to audios online. One resource I strongly recommend is GCSE Pod. The school has a subscription for this, and your child has a login. Once pupils have chosen French from the menu, they will have access to videos which they can use to complete comprehension questions. Here is a screenshot of a page. As you can see, the English translation is included. The video also contains grammar explanations. And something in particular that we like to promote here at Sacred Heart is our subscription to the Memrise online material. And this is something that we have used for some time now, and we strongly recommend that pupils continue to use this in order to help them assimilate their vocabulary. The pupils all are aware of how to get onto Memrise and should actively seek to build this into their revision. Although there will not be a formal speaking exam next summer, pupils must still be able to demonstrate their speaking skills in order for the teacher to assess them during the course. Speaking is obviously a skill which people worry about if they don't have anyone to practice with. One way around this is to use an app or application like the Microsoft OneNote application, which after you've typed in your word will read it back out to you. You can then copy the sounds and practice out loud. It allows you to change the voice to male or female, and the speed can also be altered. The app can be downloaded to mobile phones so pupils can use it when journeying to and from school, for example. Here is a screenshot of an MFL page. The revision workbooks and revision guides are excellent for practicing reading, writing and listening skills, and usually have an answer section at the back for pupils to self-mark. There are numerous resources which can be purchased to revise GCSE French. My personal favourites are the CGP guides and cards, due to their clear layout. So here are my 5 top tips for revising GCSE French. Top tip number 1, know your vocabulary. Vocabulary is the mainstay of the exam, and pupils must spend a lot of their revision going over topic vocabulary. As you can see, there are lots of different methods for revising vocabulary. Some pupils may only want to use 1 or 2 of these. Others may prefer to mix them up or indeed stick with just one that works well for them. Vocabulary should be revised on a weekly basis if it is to have an impact. Pupils should return to vocabulary they practiced on a previous occasion to ensure the knowledge has stuck in their long-term memory. A revision plan would be useful here. Top tip number 2, know your verbs. One particular set of resources we are currently developing in the Trust are knowledge organisers. These are maps which set out the key vocabulary and grammar and verb tenses which pupils need to be successful at GCSE. In addition to vocabulary, it is vital that pupils know their verbs in all the core tenses. Top tip number 3, know how your verbs and vocabulary connect. In MFL, including pictures of what words remind pupils of in English can also help words stick. For example, drawing a magazine in a shop which is labelled Le Magasin. If these words are also connected to verbs, this helps pupils form a mental image. Mind maps are especially useful for this. Top tip number 4, time yourself gathering what you know. One of my favourite methods for revising vocabulary or grammar is to make a revision clock. Pupils give themselves 5 minutes per segment to complete as much as they can under a set topic title. After 60 minutes, they check their resources and add in what they missed in another colour. They should then repeat the activity on another occasion to see if they have retained more. Top tip number 5, space out your revision. Concentrate on one vocabulary or grammar spread in the revision guide at a time, and then return to it on another week to see what you've retained. You can't cram learn a language. Intervention days are being mapped out to fit around pupils' other intervention sessions. Period 6 sessions take place for MFL every Friday between 2:35 and 3:35 p.m. How to tackle exam papers guidance is being prepared. These are narrated PowerPoints which take pupils through a full exam paper. They are also interactive. At the moment, there are narrated PowerPoints for foundation and higher writing for EDUCAS. AQA is to come shortly. The Trust is posting weekly support via its npcat_MFL Instagram page. Here your child can access short core knowledge boosters, word of the week, topic vocabulary, verb of the week and much more. The slides are clear and simple and visually appealing, and thus should be another source for pupils to boost their knowledge. Finally, there is a plethora of websites and apps which pupils can use to practice their French. Here are just a few of the main ones. Encourage your child to find 1 or 2 they enjoy and feel comfortable with. And finally, we have frequently asked questions. The first being, no one in my house or my family speaks French. How can I revise? Well, the answer is they don't need to. You have everything you need. Revision guide, knowledge organisers, online PowerPoints, etc, etc. If parents want to get involved, they can cover up the English and test your understanding of meanings. What's the best online app to use? There are lots of great language learning apps on the market to enhance your learning. Favourites are Babbel and Duolingo. Have a look around and see which ones suit you best. When should I start revising for French? Well, the answer's now. If you purchase your revision guide now and divide up your topics between the weeks left until your exam, you will find you can cover everything and still have time to go back over things. You will also be able to fit it around your other subjects. So don't delay, make a plan today. Et c'est tout. Restez calme et apprenez le français.